So back in February, I went over to the Great American Outdoor Show. And while I was over there, I did an interview with the guys from Retay. And I was pretty impressed with their lineup. They had a super cool 22 bolt action called the Ascend. And I also got my hands on their RA15-22, which is a pretty awesome pistol. But during that interview, they gave me a sneak peek of a new rifle that they were getting ready to release. And that's what I've got here in this box. So let's check it out. We're over on the other bench and we're going to get this opened up and see what all comes in the box. Now, as far as the box goes, it's just a black cardboard box and it's got the Retay logo across the top. And when you open it up, this is what we are presented with. So the first thing we got here is our rifle, and this is the Retay RA1522. We're going to set this off to the side, and then we have a card that says limited lifetime warranty on it. Register your Retay today. And here on the back, you do have a QR code you can scan to register your rifle. They did put a packet of silica gel in here to keep things dry. We got a Retay sticker. We've got one 25-round magazine, and we're going to talk about the magazine in a little bit. We've got this part, which I have no idea what this is. We'll figure that out in a little bit. I found 2 more packs of silica gel. And the last thing in the box is a cleaning brush. Alright, before we dive into all the specs and features of the RA1522, I need to get a couple things out of the way real quick. First off, Retay did send this out to the channel for a review. And the second thing, I want to give a big shout out to Pursuit Armory. They are a local gun store right here in my hometown, and they are handling all the FFL transfers for the channel. Now, this gun comes in 4 different models. The one that I've got is the quad rail model. And this is kind of cool. It's kind of giving me a throwback to my very first AR-15. Now, I know a lot of you are not going to like the quad rail on this, so they do have an M-LOK version. In fact, they have 2 different M-LOK versions. You can get a polymer M-LOK handguard, and they also have a metal M-LOK handguard. And all 3 of those models have 16-inch barrels. Now, the gun that they gave me a sneak peek of over at the Great American Outdoor Show is a pistol version of this. So you will not get a stock, you'll get a pistol brace. And I don't know what the barrel length is on the pistol version. I couldn't find anything on the website. So let's get some quick dimensions out of the way on this. This has an overall length of 32.44 inches with the stock collapsed. And with the stock fully extended, this comes in at a length of 38.27 inches. Now, the width on this is 2.44 inches, and the height on this is 8.66 inches. This entire gun is polymer. It does have a polymer upper, a polymer handguard, and a polymer lower. The buffer tube on this is polymer, and obviously the stock and the grip are polymer. And being that this gun is pretty much all polymer, it only weighs 4.7 pounds. So what we're going to do is just start right out here at the end of the barrel and work our way back. Now, I already told you this has a 16-inch barrel, but this barrel is also a threaded barrel, and it is threaded 1/2 by 28. Now, as you can see, this has like a shroud over the barrel. which I think makes it look really good. And you can just grab this and it will thread right off. And there's your 1/2x28 threads. So you can put any kind of muzzle device on this, but I'm going to run this suppressed because I just got 2 new rimfire cans in. Now, one thing that I'm not really liking about this is I think once you take the shroud off, it looks kind of ugly. I wish I could run the shroud on here and have the threads in front of the shroud, but it is what it is. So you've got 1913 rail all across the bottom, both sides, and all the way across the top. Now, I know a lot of you are going to complain or ask the question, is the 1913 rail polymer? And yes, it is. But this is the third gun that I've tested on the channel that is chambered in 22 with a polymer rail on it, and I've never had issues losing zero. Whether I used an LPVO like I did with the TM22 flash, or a red dot that I used on my GSG16, which is basically an MP5 clone chambered in 22 LR. And the quad rail on this is locked up nice and tight with the upper. There is no movement at all in this. Now, one of the really cool features is that this gun comes with flip-up sights right out of the box. You've got a button here and a button here. And the front sight on this is an adjustable front sight. And since we're talking about the sights, we're just going to move right back to the rear sight. Same deal, flip up rear sight. And what's really cool on the rear sight is you have your bigger peephole here, and you've got a dial on both sides of the sight. You turn it, and now you've got your smaller peephole. Now we move back to the upper, but as you can see, this pretty much just has all your standard controls you're used to seeing on an AR-15. You've got your bolt release right here. You've got your safety selector, and they put an ambi safety selector on here. And you've got your AR style magazine release on this side. There is no ambi mag release. Now, I already told you that the lower on this is a polymer lower. You do have your 2 pins right here, just like you do on any other AR style trigger. This does have a curved trigger, and the trigger guard on this is pretty good size. So you're not going to have any issues running this with gloves on. And then we move down to the grip, and we've just got an AR-15 style grip. Now, I've got big 2XL hands, and the grip is plenty big enough for my hand. Now, as far as the grip that goes on here, it's pretty comfortable. You do have some nice stippling right here. You have that on both sides. It's not overly aggressive. You have that same stippling here on the back of the grip, but the front of the grip is just smooth. Well, we kind of got out of order what we were talking about, but while we were talking about the upper, I forgot to talk about the charging handle. It's very smooth, and what's cool, it's ambi. Now we move over to this side, they put a dust cover on here. And when you charge it, it drops just like an AR-15. And now we're going to move to the back. And I really like this buttstock they're using. It is adjustable. It's very smooth. You got a quick detach mount right here, and you have that on both sides. And they actually put a really nice rubber butt pad on this. Not that you're really going to need it because it's just chambered in 22. But being that it is a nice rubber butt pad, it's not going to slide around on your shoulder. So now let's talk about the magazines, and I really like these magazines. And the biggest reason for that is because it's pretty much the size of a standard AR-15 magazine. Now these do hold 25 rounds. They are completely made out of plastic. You do have an assist right here to load. Now I only wish that it would have come with more than just one mag, because as of right now, these magazines are not available on their website because I don't even know if this gun is available to the public yet. So hopefully they're going to be getting extra mags on the website soon, because I'd at least like to have 2 more. But all in all, great design on the mag. And the reason I'm saying that is because you can pretty much use this as a training rifle. You've got all the same AR-15 controls. The trigger, the safety selector, the mag release, all of that. And it is a lot cheaper to train with 22LR than it is with 223 or 556. Now, what's super cool about these mags, very easy to insert. You do have a little bit of a flare on the mag well right here. You do get last round bolt hold open. There you can see it locked back. Now, another really great feature on here is when you release the mag, the bolt actually stays locked back. With a lot of guns like this, when you go to pull the mag out, your bolt will drop, but not with this one. So right now, we've got the bolt locked back, go to our bolt release, and the bolt drops. And this is really smooth. Now, as far as separating the upper from the lower, these pins push out nice and easy. I didn't need any tools, whether it was on the front pin or the back pin. And I'm going to show you what the inside of the lower looks like. I'm going to go ahead and show you this end of the buffer tube. As you can see, there is no buffer or spring or anything like that in here because it's just direct blowback. And here is what the inside of your upper looks like. And here's your bolt from the inside of the upper. This gun is super easy to take down for cleaning and maintenance. So now let's dive into the trigger. We got our snap cap installed. We're going to go ahead and chamber one. Nice. Chambered right up. All right, so here is our trigger. There is no take up. It's just a nice, clean break. It's actually not a bad trigger. Let me go ahead and eject this out. And let's see what the reset's like. Nice, tactile, audible. Kind of pushes your finger forward. And you get that nice, clean break. All right, we got our snap caps loaded back up. And I've got the Wheeler trigger pull scale. I've got this zeroed out. Let's see what kind of trigger pull we're going to get on this. I'm going to guess probably 5 pounds. Okay, I was way off. We're at about 6.5 pounds. Let's do it one more time just to confirm. That time we broke right at about 6 pounds. So we're right in between 6 and 6.5 pounds. But the trigger does feel pretty good. One other thing I didn't talk about while we've got this charged is the safety on this. It's a really nice safety. Very tactile. Got a nice audible click. Very easy to manipulate. I'm not getting any kind of grit or grinding. It's pretty smooth. So the trigger, it's a little heavy. I may try putting a drop-in trigger in it just to see if it does work. Now, speaking of triggers, if I do decide to try a drop-in trigger on this, it's going to be from Rise Armament. I've got about half a dozen of their triggers. I've been using their triggers for years, long before I started this YouTube channel. And what's super cool about Rise Armament, they were nice enough to give me a 20% off discount code for my subscribers. Now, if you want to take advantage of that discount code, you can head to my website, go to the weekly deals section, and I've always got a direct link right to Rise Armament. So now let's get to the last question that everybody's going to ask. How much is this going to cost you? Well, if you go with this quad rail version that I have here, the MSRP is 359 beans. So I'm guessing the street price on this is probably going to be right around 300. Now, if you decide you want to go with the pistol version or the M-LOK version, not the metal M-LOK version, but the polymer handguard with M-LOK, they're the same price, $359. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.